Industry Insider is only available at Promo Corner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Each Monday, they discuss, dissect, and debate a single issue impacting the world of promotional marketing from every industry perspective. Now, it's time for Promo Corner's Industry Insider.
Ho, ho, ho. Yes, it is a Christmas episode here. We've got the Industry Insider. It is your favorite promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and I'm joined today by three other lovely folks. But before we get to them, the incredible broadcast that you're tuning into right now is brought to you by our good friends over at Tervis. And look, we're gonna get into some sustainable talk today, and no better sponsor than Tervis when it comes to what they're doing. Did you know that Americans dispose of about 50 billion single-use plastic water bottles each year, and only 23% are recycled? It's insane.
I did not.
The annual U.S. recycling rate for plastic is only 23%, leaving 38 billion single-use water bottles to enter our landfills every year. About 500 billion disposable cups are thrown away in the U.S. each year. Just staggering numbers. Tervis has produced and shipped over 150 million tumblers since 2000, which could have potentially prevented over 1 trillion single-use water bottles from entering landfills, waterways, and oceans every year. So go check them out and support the cause at tervispromos.com and let them know that your good friends over at Industry Insider sent you. Like I said, joined today by three folks. Why don't we say hi to our festive Meg Erber?
I was watching the video from last year and I literally didn't even try. I didn't even try. So today I'm so glad I bought myself one of these sweaters along with you guys. So I can be festive this year.
You kind of broke the rules last week. I'm not super excited about it. You're not allowed to buy your own Christmas present. That's kind of
weird. I loved it so much that I wanted one for myself. So thanks to uglychristmassweaters.com.
Yeah. And of course you had to make yourself Santa, and
of course
us two clowns are just running the show in the background, right, Stephen?
Yeah, my daughters did comment on that when I got home. They're like, "What? Why are you a reindeer? Why is that guy an elf? Why aren't you Santa?" I'm like, well,
my kids wanted to see my ears. They actually wanted to see the ears. They're like, why do you have ears like that, Poppy? Why are you wearing a hat? So yeah, I had to explain that one. Thanks, Meg. All right. Also joined today by our special guest, Bob Gautier with Kokua Promotions and Kind Humans. And we're going to talk about the adventures of Bob, Sticker Bob, and all things, man. But, before we do that, it is customary for us to give our special guest a good 3 to 4 minute introduction of yourself. So why don't you tell us all things, Bob, and how you got started in the promotional products industry and what you've been up to since?
Yeah, for sure. It's great to be here. And you're taking a chance having me on here. So I'm a rookie, but I've been in the business. I know I started, believe it or not, I actually started an engineering degree in the 80s. And then I went into the fashion industry about 85, 86. And I started selling laces and trims in the fashion world. And from there, I went into the action sports world and that's where the Sticker Bob name came from, is I started selling hundreds of millions of stickers for all the big surf and skate brands and snowboard brands. And I got a lucky break into apparel, and I started producing, if you remember back in the day, the company called LA Gear.
I used to have all those sneakers. They were rad. They were super rad. Yes.
Yeah. So I actually did all their apparel too, all their t-shirt printing. And so that was my break into the apparel world. And it was basically, it was unbelievable. I did that. And I picked up a Reebok program in the mid 90s. And I sort of like just kind of blew up from there on the terms of it. I never left the action sports industry just because of that right there. And then they'd always come to me with Sticker Bob and like, can you get our mugs and hats and backpacks? They were always asking me to get everything else for them. And it wasn't really my wheelhouse at the time. So I actually knew somebody else in the industry, and I was just passing all that business through for years through them. So eventually I was kind of pushed into the promo industry, and I started Kokua Promo now probably in 2014, I'd say. Yeah, 2014. And been full 100% promo Bob now. Still AKA Sticker Bob. And then I was one of the first vendors of GoPro when they first came onto the scene. And I met them at the Interbike show back in the day, and my Specialized was one of my customers, and they walked me over there. Did you want to hear all this? Is it kind of
Yeah, absolutely.
So I walked over there, and there was a piece of carpet with 4 people in the company, a GoPro, and that's how I met everybody over there. And I watched them grow from 4 people to 1,600 people.
Wow.
My buddy, he was the number 4 guy there. He took them public, and then they obviously retired after they went public, and he started this company called Kind Humans, he and his wife. And it all kind of stemmed from her looking for products for their girls, their little girls who had all kinds of allergies and things like this. And it just grew into a big, giant, eco-friendly program. And now we're officially 2 years. It's been a conversation for 4 years, but yeah, that's how the Kind Humans came on board. And now I'm business development for those guys on top of this running the Kokua. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, getting into the industry.
I think you missed a little bit of your story, Bob.
Oh, yes.
Where are you currently located right now?
I'm in Steven's parking lot outside his building. In my house on wheels.
That's cool.
I mean, you're living the dream. Like, this is the part we can't skip. Like, this is what, I think everybody has at least, thought about at some point in time in their life. Like, let's just get rid of everything. Let's sell everything. Let's pack up and just travel and do our thing from the road. Like, you're living it, man. I think it's awesome. Can you dive into that just a little bit?
Yeah, sure. It's kind of funny. I have this little Kokua trading company brand too, is my own personal give back brand that I was doing just because I wanted to give back to the islands and, anything children related, and ocean related at the time. And so I decided, I was always meeting with all my buddy owners at the coffee shops. And I just made this random comment like, hey, I'm going to go on a road trip for 1 year to coffee shops and go see all my promo customers and promote my new trading company, and, I literally in 3 months sold every property that I owned, bought a van, and I was on the road. And I was only going to do it for 1 year. And then August was my 4th year anniversary. So I've been at it now for over 4 years.
Wow, that is so cool. That is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's incredible. You got a sweet setup there too. I know I saw it a couple years back when I came out to see you in Dana Point, and it's a really sick setup. So
it's since then been rewrapped. It had Kokua Trading Company on it. Now it's Kind Humans with a little bit of Kokua left on there, but it's it's mostly.
I see a bit of the logo there behind you on the wrap.
This guy right here is this guy.
Yeah. So tell us more about Kind Humans and like I was looking into the website, and I told you guys before the show that we all have a friend who had a baby recently, and I wanted to send him a gift, like an eco-friendly gift for his child. Because at the time I was doing all these pitches on sustainability for SNS Activewear. I was literally like the voice for that. And he had helped me with some stuff. So I wanted to send him something for his baby. And I literally ended up giving up because I was looking everywhere, and then I just went in that rabbit hole, and I'm like, well, maybe this is and then I just gave up. I completely gave up. And now I'm so excited that I found your website, because not only do you have stuff for kids and baby, you literally have like it's like the Amazon of sustainable products and eco-friendly products. So
you're hired. I mean, that's basically what we say. It's the ethical Amazon option. So, and the upside to that, on top of being sustainable and recyclable, is that every product on there gives to a cause. So yeah, we give 3% on every product on there.
So everyone needs to go to kindhumans.com right now and finish their Christmas shopping. You have like 1 day, so you might have to expedite the shipping, but like, seriously, this is so cool. It's so cool.
We have some awesome little things going on. Promos like are feeding families right now too, this time of year. So some of the purchases are going towards that too. So there's a lot of cool things going on right now.
So you mentioned that everything on there gives back. Do they all go to different places? Or like, do each of the brands kind of like on there have their own initiatives? Is that kind of like a
gosh, the cause list
is it? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The cause list is growing so much. If you go on there, you'll see the different things, the different causes that we're giving to.
Oh, nice.
And we're climate neutral. We're B Corp. We're all that information is on the site there. But that list is growing constantly. We're over 1,600 products now fully vetted from how they're produced and who's making them. And yeah, it's a heavy process to get to be a product on the site.
Well, I see that you're certified B Corp, and I know that whole process. Like you completely vetted people, and 1% of the planet. I've seen that a lot over the last year. These aren't easy programs to get into. The certifications, it's you have to be very transparent just to start this whole process. So this is legit. Like I'm just so excited. I can't wait to finish my Christmas.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, you should see what's coming down the pipeline. I wish I could speak to more to that, but boy, that's going to be a pretty exciting year. There's a lot of things happening. We have a lot of leadership that's jumped over from GoPro, and we have Paul Crandall from Red Bull, who brought Red Bull into the States. He's our president at Kind Humans now. And yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff.
That's awesome.
So, it was Justin from GoPro. He's the one that contacted me and said, hey, we want to use Kokua for our new company idea. And Kokua evolved into Kind Humans. And that's how we reconnected. We always were friends.
Yeah.
His sex story was amazing because he used to borrow stuff from me in the early days of GoPro. Like, hey, can I borrow your board? And, this was public. And literally, he retired young. And then he and his wife created this Kind Humans, and it's become this global impact,
Wow.
It's pretty amazing stuff.
I like what the Susie is the co-founder, correct? I like what she said about, I don't care if our kids are the smartest or the most athletic. I just want them to be kind humans. Correct. And, I kind of say this jokingly, even though we have so many kids, and, as a mom that invested a lot of time into their sports and their academics and trying to be everything, at the end of the day, none of that even matters. If you're not a good person, then it doesn't matter. You as a parent, that's your job to make sure that you're raising good humans, that you're raising them with morals and values, and that you're putting them out into the world to make the good choices on their own. So this really stems from the baseline. And I love that. I really do.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. If you look, it's really about educating folks. It's to have a global impact. It's really going to be about educating what's really, an option for you out there, rather than one-time use products and things like this. Speaking to some numbers earlier before we came on live, was the amount of landfill issues with plastics and things like this. Yeah. The vetting process is Susie's in charge of the vetting process, so she's all over it.
Wow.
I bet she is.
Yeah. That's the final say on everything that comes our way.
So do you guys, I'm assuming you guys are still being pursued by other brands and products that just want to be a part of this, but it's got to be a tough process to get in because of all the vetting, I would assume.
Yeah, our collaboration list is incredible. It's with artists and musicians and celebrities and other sort of eco-friendly companies coming our way. There's some that are not to the standards we prefer that to be. We have a big collaboration with Melon Hats, for example. And so if you look at that, they're selling tens of thousands of our hats with our messaging on it, on their Melon Hats, for example. And they're at $70 hats. It's crazy.
I know we briefly spoke about this, but do you see any future where there's some opportunity in the promo side of this? Because I know promos is kind of struggled to continue to bring product into the industry, and there's certain brands and certain lines that are doing a great job at it. But do you see yourself as in a position where you can add to the industry with some of these lines?
Yeah, we have a few suppliers already contacting for the last couple of years. We have some communications about. We have some things in the works right now with has full sustainable foam hats. And there's not even foam anymore in there. It's some other material in there. And then we have a fully certified blanks now. So we have some folks that you're all familiar with. Carrying a collection from us of maybe of a hat and a shirt and a towel or a bag of some sort that they would come.
So educate me real quick, because Meg, I see you nodding your head when he says fully certified sustainable. Is that a process, or is that it has to meet certain standards? Is there a group that does that? I don't know that side of it. Is that how that works? Is there a approval process to be certified as sustainable?
Meg?
Oh, I'm waiting for Bob to answer, right? You ready for Bob? Oh,
Yeah,
so who are you
that's
asking?
you.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Asking Meg.
You guys
Oh.
seem very excited about that, and it seems really cool. I just don't know what that means.
So I don't want to speak. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking Bob about his
Oh, yeah, yeah.
processes. So no, I'm nodding my head because no, I love all of this. There, when he was
Okay.
talking about being, fully certified, it's the B Corp, it's the 1% of the planet. It's all these little certifications
Yeah, okay.
that go into it that are like, we're fully certified, and there's not like, hey, stamp fully certified. No.
Yeah, and then climate neutral.
Yeah, climate neutral. Yeah.
And also the GOTS is a big deal. I'm still learning GOTS myself, but that's a heavy certification. So we have actually a domestically made GOTS blank coming out. So yeah,
That's
there's
really neat.
exciting stuff for the promo industry, right? Because that, it's funny. I went 4 years ago to PPI show to do some research, and nobody knew what sustainability was. I was just trying to find one, a couple suppliers that kind of had an option with that, but no sustainable options. And now everyone seems to be understanding that it's not going away. Everyone's jumping on the back for that.
So with
Well,
you
I
guys
was-
being like the ethical Amazon, clearly it's an e-commerce platform. Is there any future plans for any retail stores, or are there currently any? And then have you thought about getting into promo with that and being like a blank supplier for 100% sustainable product?
It's exactly right. So there's 3 levels. We have our e-com site, our third-party product, and then also that we have and for the promo world that we're all involved with, will be a blank supplier, maybe through an SNS or something. I don't know. But a blank and a hat blank, and also we already have our own retail brand into stores. That's growing as we speak as well. A lot of rep groups are coming our way who are taking it on. Such as like maybe Billabong or Quicksilver stores or small boutique shops and things like that. That's already happening. So yeah, we're in the middle.
We got to get Shark Tank. I think we need to get you on Shark Tank with all this,
Well, how I met Steven was through Jason Lukash, and so Jason was a client of mine in the promo world.
Yeah.
He started the whole Oregadio thing and Shark Tank, and that's how I met this guy, Steven.
So Jason was a client of yours?
Jason used to be a client
yeah.
of mine when he was at JanSport, and I was doing all his promo and sticker work for him. So.
Oh, nice.
And they were like trying to get me to be that third partner in the Oregadio. I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And to this day, he just digs me all the time because clearly he did quite well.
Yeah.
So I regret that decision, but
That's an awesome story.
So I saw on your website that you have a lot of kits, which is really cool. Did you see a big uptake in kitting this year? And are you sending out in like sustainable boxes on top of that? Because I know, everything is great, eco-friendly. I thought you were going to hit on this, Jeff, a second ago. The one downside to e-commerce is all of the logistics that goes behind it. So yeah, everything could be great, fully sustainable from inception until you get to the delivery. Do you guys have I know I just maybe didn't discuss this and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but is there an answer for like the logistics side of that with you guys?
well, right now, are you talking about Kind Humans?
Oh yes, Kind Humans.
Yeah, Kind Humans. So all our packaging is sustainable for sure. That was a big research program, took quite a while. My business in the promo world grew through COVID because of the kitting processes. And that's kind of rolled into what we're selling on the Kind Human side in terms of the kits that you saw, eco-friendly kit or whatever's on there. We're not shipping too much internationally now, so we're not running into too many problems with that yet. But the logistics, as far as all of us know, it's been kind of a challenge. But yeah, right now we're sending kits out like crazy. I mean, our e-com is probably our strongest area right now for 2021. And the forecast looks really good for next year already.
Oh yeah,
it's been crazy. And even my promo business was had the best 2 years because of kitting and just custom boxing and thousands of residences. Everybody's working from home.
Yeah, I think there was a poll on ASI or on Twitter, ASI put out, and they were like, "What is the product of the year?" And I think kitting was like the product of the year. I don't know, everyone was commenting that, but I think either I said it or Danny or somebody said, they're like, whatever's in stock. So,
Right.
so next to kitting, whatever's in stock.
That's kind of fair.
Yeah.
That's kind of fair.
Yeah.
You guys have any other questions as far as like Kind Human goes?
Man, I don't know. I have so many questions, but I just don't even know where to start. I wish I heard about this more. I really want to just I don't know. Just want to wrap it up and.
I need to make you an ambassador of the company.
Oh
God,
I got too many things on my plate already.
Just like, no.
I'm like, I'm in.
I'll do it.
Bob, do you have anything else about Kind Humans that or anything else that's on your plate that you'd like to share with us?
You know, we're in the middle of a seed round, so we're going to be doing a lot of hiring, and there's a lot of great things coming on that standpoint with Kind Humans. You'll see a lot more of that this year in 2022 or next year, and at hopefully in the promo world as well as a blank. We're really trying to make an impact with that. But other than that, no, not with Kind Humans. That's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay.
Please
let's get
visit.
into it. Let's get into the conversation that we've all been waiting for then. Tell us about some of these equestrian races that you've been in recently.
Yes.
Or over the last few years.
Here we go. Nobody knows this but my closest friends, because I just don't like to talk about myself. I know everything. Yeah, so I do something called endurance horse racing. I race Arabians. And so I'm called a catch rider because it's hard to have a horse while you're living in the van on the road. So I basically ride other people's horses. So I get contacted to do these 50+ mile day races. I've done up to 100-mile day races on Arabians mostly.
Yeah.
And
so Meg, it looks like you're trying to formulate a question. I'm not sure.
So like I've only ever been to horse races once, and those guys are generally very tiny. Like I mean, it's hard to tell on Zoom. I mean, it's funny enough because Jeff and Steven don't look like tiny guys, but
that's a jockey on a racetrack, Meg. This is a guy racing across like deserts in the middle of.
Okay.
Right,
so
Bob?
You went across like Mongolia or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I raced for team. I raced for Team USA with 3 other guys across the Gobi Desert in Mongolia against like 5 other countries.
Yeah, this isn't horse track racing, Meg. This is.
You think you know somebody, right? You're like a half hour into a conversation, you think you know a person.
Yeah, so that was really exciting. It wasn't so much the distance, like it was hundreds of miles of racing. It was literally every day you got a different wild Mongolian horse to ride. So we were terrified every morning walking up to this horse. Like it was just terrifying because it's a wild horse, half wild, but most wild. So that's exciting.
Incredible because I don't know too much about the Mongolian horses, but I know Arabians are typically a relatively stubborn and difficult breed to try to either, I guess, tame or to ride like that, right? Like it takes a pretty legitimate rider to be able to do that.
Yeah, you know, the reason why they like Arabians is because they're very forward and very spirited.
Yeah.
And so, you know, on a normal horse, like a quarter horse, you're just trying to get them to go. Where on Arabian, you're just trying to stop them, slow them down.
Hold on.
Yeah. Try to manage them because there's no issues with them going forward.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Are there like saddles? There's like the whole getup. Are you like bareback? Like I'm just gonna grab the horse by the mane, jump off, and ride into the desert in the sunset. Like is it like that? Because I'm trying.
I'm usually wearing a Speedo, and
well, that's fine.
Bob, you should have gone with that a little bit longer.
I've never heard of this before, so I have to picture it because I'm one of those people who pictures things in their heads. So that's insane.
On the endurance side, I wear like a mountain bike helmet and like half chaps. Okay. I actually wear Kokua running shoes because there's times you get off the horse to actually run with the horse on poor footing. So yeah, that's the endurance side. It's not a Western saddle. It's more of like an English looking saddle. But I am a cowboy. I'm not part of the Los Caballeros Cowboys. So I do like some cowboy stuff.
Do you watch Yellowstone?
I love Yellowstone.
This season had a couple of rough episodes. I don't know if you guys watched or not, but we're like, you could tell it was COVID written. You know what I mean? Like we got to get this out. Like let's just push it out. But best show on TV, hands down.
So let me ask you about that real quick because I started to watch that maybe a couple of years ago, and we started watching the first episode, and it didn't really catch us. Is it something you need to like? Does it pick up after that, or like how?
So the first episode, I've been talking about this a little bit with VJ, like not to be a spoiler, but like the brother dies the first episode. And like, they haven't talked about that once in 4 seasons, whatever. And I'm a little disturbed about that, but it's insane. It's yes, it picks up. I'm best show on TV, hands down.
All right, cool.
Right now.
Love it.
Love it.
Very good. All right. Do you guys have any questions about Bob's horse adventures or the van adventures?
There's so many
many
questions you could ask because it's like your world is your office. So it's like I want to ask like places you've been and like where's your coolest setup or I mean there's no time to go through all that amazing stuff,
It's a tough answer, right? Because I'm super grateful. I mean, it's amazing that I can run the business from the road like I do. I have virtual assistants throughout the country that work from home in different states. There's no reason I should stay in one place. So I've gone from you, Steve. I came from the Outer Banks to come see you, and I basically flew off to Maui and just got back from there the other day.
Yeah.
So what does your day consist of? Like, are you on the road the most like all day or like just like for certain days of the week? Like, tell me, I'm still trying to absorb all this and I'm sure our listeners are too. So give us like a day in the life of Bob, like normal day in life.
Yeah. Well, there's times I do sit put for like 6 to 8 weeks, right? I'll do that too. But this particular trip I've been on to come and see Steven was, it's been a 6-week trip so far traveling. And I normally stay 1 to 2 days in locations. So I'll post up on the beach or post up at a ranch or post up, wherever the case might be. And I'll do about 6 hours work and with about 5 hours of driving sometimes the same day. I'm an early riser. Like I've already been everywhere this morning. And and the time zones has been challenging because it changes as I go from different states, of course. But other than that, there's no complaints. It works and do
you have Wi-Fi in your van?
I got a hotspot. I got a Wilson booster antenna for.
We'll post some pictures if you're okay with it, Bob. But his van is no joke. Like it's awesome. When people say van, it's like it's huge.
Yeah.
It's a dually 4-wheel drive 20. It's extended version. It's got all kinds. It's not the van by the river, that's for sure.
Yeah, like winches and lights and outdoor speakers and awnings and crazy stuff. Yeah, it's legit.
So okay, one last question. What was your favorite like place to RV? You're like, man, I could probably like chill here for a bit. Like, what was your favorite? I'm sorry, I'm so invested in this RV life. I love it. I think it's big. I think it's so big right now, and we may do it in September, depending on what happens here in New Jersey. So. I'm about that life. I'm about it.
I can help you with all that setup because when I first started, I must every day heard somebody, you're living my dream. You're living my dream.
Yeah.
Everyone's starting to live the dream now. I mean, this band's gone up in value instead of like, it hasn't lost any value. That's for sure. I would say Tetons is one of my favorite places. I stay there quite a bit. I rolled into Bend, Oregon once, think I was going to stay a few days and I stayed 2 months.
Oh.
And I've been enjoying these Gulf Coast beaches lately. Pulling up on these wet sand beaches. It was hard to leave these locations this time around. Like,
I don't blame you.
Everywhere I went, like, I could live here. That's cool.
That's
cool.
Are you
gonna... like the mountains, but Tetons was one of my faves.
Yeah, I hear that's a really nice place. Are you going to be in Vegas for PPAI?
Yeah, I'll have this guy there.
Yeah, that's so cool.
You gotta leave Wynn to start getting there.
Yeah, I'm probably leaving a day or two. I'll eat some more Steven's food or whatever, then I'll take off.
Deal.
Yeah.
Cool.
The Tetons is actually one of the first places we plan on going with the camper.
Oh, no kidding. I got all the spots for you.
Awesome.
Right.
Very cool.
I'll ditch you up then. So I know it's going to be a long drive, but yeah, we want to pack the girls up and just go, Yeah. It's going to be a fun time.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Awesome.
Do you guys want to do a rapid fire real quick or do we want to wrap things up?
Well, I kind of asked my rapid fire question, but let's go.
You said there's a million questions, so I just figured you could throw one at them,
Sure.
All right, Steven, you got one?
On the spot.
I've asked this question different ways. I've asked like, are you beach or mountain person? But if you're gonna go camping, like camp style, would you rather do mountain style or on the beach?
Man, that's a good question. That's a good question because I do both, right? This lifestyle, you can do both and love them both. It's pretty equal, Steven. I don't know. It's tough, right? I'm a waterman too, right? So it's like I ride horses in the mountains. And I'm a waterman on the beach. So I have to answer that.
If you don't, you have to do neither for the rest of your life, okay. Bob. You have to pick one.
Okay, I'll go with the mountains.
Okay.
What about you, Jeff?
It would be a tough choice for me, very similar to Bob. And I think I've answered that before. I've just said both. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say I enjoy the mountain a little bit more.
For sure.
Yeah. I love the beach. I love the white sands and the Gulf Coast, but I think with COVID and with the pandemic and everything, people just flocked there. And I've found that I like where there's less people. So I like the mountains more now, just the fresh air, the clean water, just the lack of people.
For sure.
I'm really happy right now. So I'm mountains. I would also say mountains. Yeah, but I get every time I ask people about beach or mountains, I feel like I'm always in the minority with mountains. Like everyone.
I mean, look at me. Do I belong on the beach or do I belong in the mountain?
You got that mountain body, right?
Hey, why you got to bring the body into this? I was talking
I'm
about
sorry.
the beer.
Come on, Meg.
I'm sorry. All right, I got a question. All right, what is it always gonna start with Bob because I'm all about this RV life. What was your favorite non-franchise coffee stop on your RV trip? And I guess for the guys, what is your favorite non-franchise coffee
You did
shop?
a coffee tour.
I'm on a coffee tour.
Well, so pick your favorite. Like, who's your favorite child?
That is tough. Oh, well, just on the way to the Outer Banks this last trip, I ran into this amazing school bus that was like on the beach.
Yeah.
That was an amazing little setup for coffee and an awesome family. So I'm drawing it's called Ragamuffin or something like that. But it was on the way towards the Outer Banks on the beach somewhere. And I couldn't believe it was out of nowhere. I pulled in there and I stayed 2 hours talking to the owners and all the locals. I mean, it's a hard one because there's some amazing coffee shops that you don't even know about, mom and pop shops everywhere.
That is, that's, I would say that is right. There are a lot of them.
I would say I don't know that I have like a favorite. Are we talking like just a coffee roaster or somebody that like actually makes the coffee and brews it and all that stuff as well?
Well, I mean, you're getting technical, so whatever.
Well,
what's your favorite?
I am my favorite then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
So like I enjoy there's a company in Chambersburg, PA called Abednego Coffee that they okay, guys.
Sorry, we're having service issues. Go ahead.
So they're a great roaster. They've got some really good bean. Like I love a single source bean, Guatemala, and then there's a place in like the Chiapas, Mexico area that does really good coffee beans. So if I can get them from Guatemala or there, like that's my jam.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Steven?
My favorite right now, I don't really have a shop, but I do have a bean. It's from Sunica. I think I've mentioned them before. They're a nonprofit organization, and they've got a piece of the rainforest that they've preserved, and they grow coffee there. And so they have
I love it.
Beans and stuff that are here, both ground and whole. And so I get it from them and then go brew it at the house, and it's delicious.
Oh, it does sound yummy.
Where did you
have a coffee. Yeah, where are they out of?
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Very cool.
We have a local coffee shop that before Adeline, we used to have a date day every Friday afternoon. And that would be like the time that we would just go and see each other, my significant other. And it was Crescent Moon, but we actually might go today. We'll see. But they have, I'm not sure where they get their beans from, but it's nice. We like played checkers and it was a lot of fun. So we're excited to actually start that back up again.
I do lean towards Kona blends though.
Yeah.
My second home is Hawaii, so it's kind of in my blood. So.
That's cool.
I can't blame you there.
Yeah.
I will say I love a Kona crusted steak.
There you go.
All right, fair enough. So my question, what is your favorite horse breed?
Well, it's got to be Arabians. I mean, I've been on over 60 different horses in 5 years, and the majority have been Arabians.
Wow.
With the Mustang being second. Because I've been lucky enough to ride wild Mustangs. That's pretty incredible.
Wow.
But Arabians.
That's cool.
I think there's like horses on the beach down there, aren't there? Like on Outer Banks, Bob?
Yeah, Corolla area.
Corolla, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I went looking for them, but unfortunately I couldn't see any wild ones. I went to Ocracoke Island looking for them. And
Oh.
There's like a certain time of year where they go from like Assateague to Chincoteague or something.
Yeah, it's like March or April, I think, right? Or July? I don't know. Somewhere in the middle to beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
I'll go with the Falabella horse as a cute little nugget of a horse. And because that's VJ's last name.
That is also VJ's last name. So
I
I'm
know.
not sure that's an appropriate answer, Meg. We don't need that imagery at all. Stephen McFadden.
Clydesdales.
What's
Really?
that? Clydesdale?
Mhm.
Clydesdales are super cool. Now, I don't know a ton about horses. I'm not like a big equestrian, but I'd have to say a Morgan. They're
Ooh.
beautiful
I know that
horses,
is.
and they're very, very docile and good with, pretty much any beginner, right?
Yep.
Very
Good
cool.
choices.
Nice.
All right.
Well,
Bob's
any other
left.
questions or anything else to add,
Or
guys?
is that it?
That's
Did Bob
it.
ask a question? Did Bob ask us a question?
Yeah,
I don't think Bob
you
asked us
gotta
a
ask
question.
I have to ask a question.
Yeah.
What should be my next stop leaving Stevens wonderful
Ooh.
parking lot?
Well, if you're headed towards Vegas, it would have to be somewhere between the Carolinas and Nevada, right?
It's a
Correct.
big area.
That's a big stop.
Fort Worth, and get some Joe T. Garcia's fajitas. That's what I'll say.
Dallas
Just for the
Fort Worth.
food.
I'd say Nashville. I just love Nashville. There's some big lakes down there. There's some beautiful lakes. And unless you're going to come up north and hit some Maine mountains and stuff like that, I would say hit Nashville on your way out to Vegas.
Awesome.
I wouldn't
don't-
necessarily say Nashville, but I would definitely say Tennessee for sure.
Yeah.
Eastern
Well, you
side of
probably take Route
Tennessee.
40. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful drive.
I don't know if you're planning on going north or south, but if you're going south, I mean, I feel like there'd be some cool areas to drive through down, like near New Orleans and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like that would be a.
Yeah, I hit those all on the way here.
Did you?
Have
Okay.
you ever
Cool.
been into Gatlinburg, Tennessee?
No, I haven't been to Tennessee ever.
Oh,
God.
there's
that
so
would go-
much.
I would
Bob,
go
you're
through
literally
Tennessee then.
missing the best state of the 50.
8. Yeah.
Well,
It-
best state of the 48. We'll say that at least.
No, I plan to go through there. That's my way back. So Tennessee
Tennessee
seems-
is awesome.
yeah.
Very
Don't
pretty.
stop in
Definitely
Memphis.
hit depending on how much time you have, hit Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge area.
Pigeon Forge. Go to Dolly
Go
World.
through the Smoky Mountains, do all that. Do the Tail of the Dragon if you can. It's
Tail of
like
the Dragon's awesome.
0.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 311 turns in like an 11-mile stretch of road. It's freaking sweet.
Really?
So
Yeah,
you could do
but
that.
switchbacks. Well, he's got a giant van, so I don't know how fun that'll be, but
Dude, I
I
mean, the
love it.
speed limit's 25 anyways, or 30. So I mean, it's fine. You get people that do 100 on it, but don't worry about them. So all those things are awesome. And then hit Chattanooga on the way through as well. Chattanooga is a great little town.
I'll have Steven write that all out for me. He's been an amazing host, by the way. Thank you,
Yeah.
Steven.
appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming to see us.
Very cool. All right. Well, with nothing else to be said on this episode, we will go back to our good friends over at Tervis and let you know that this great broadcast that you tuned into was from them, our friends over at Tervis. They've got the hashtag Take Your Tervis. It's another way that they use social media to promote sustainability. They actually had a partnership with Four Oceans as well. They did a beach cleanup on Siesta Key, and according to Four Oceans, which does these cleanups year round across the world, this was their largest turnout with over 1,300 registered participants. They were able to collect and count 144 straws, 5,877 cigarettes, 463 plastic bottles, 187 plastic cutlery, 355 plastic bags, 234 plastic and foam cups, and 1,346 bottle caps. Tervis they're very, very passionate about the oceans, and they care about the creatures that call it their home. They're committed to making it a better place and have been for 72 years, and not just because it's trendy or helps sell tumblers, but because it's the right thing to do. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely go check them out at tervispromos.com. Get more information, tell them Industry Insider sent you. And with that, happy holidays, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, all that good stuff. Bob, thank you so much for joining us and sharing some of your story, man. You really are, as Steven says, the most interesting man in the world.
Love you guys, man. I appreciate it.
Merry
Absolutely.
Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
All right, guys, take care. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.